Very pleased to introduce Rob Fosterman from Ticketmaster to look behind the headline. Rob.
Thanks very much. Afternoon, everyone. Just going to set my... Give me 1 sec. Sorry, I'm just waiting for my computer to start up. Hi there. So thanks very much for coming to listen to me. I appreciate it. It's lunchtime. My name is Rob. I am the Business Development Director for Ticketmaster. I look after all of our sports and special events. I was going to show you a little video now that unfortunately we can't get to work, so don't worry about that. If you'd like to see it, please do come to the stand. It just kind of shows you some of the things that we get involved in. I know a lot of people think of Ticketmaster as huge, big events, but we do truly work across the total spectrum of events. So don't worry about that, we'll click on. So a quick question for everyone, please feel free to answer. How much percentage of tickets do you think Ticketmaster sells online? Anyone want to hazard a guess? No? 80%? Good guess. Anyone think higher, lower? Well, the actual answer is 93% of our tickets are sold online. And 60% of those are via mobile apps. So what we're trying to basically say here is that if you aren't selling your tickets online, where are you selling them? We obviously still offer things like phone services for those people that are going to phone up and want to book a specific seat at an event. But everything is done online now, and we truly believe that your ticketing should be as well. So in terms of where we got to in ticketing, this is how it used to be. You used to just go, stand, wait in line to get a ticket. I remember those days, looking out at this audience, some of you look like you don't, which is a good thing, trust me. And from there, we moved to the era of the telephone contact centre, where you'd wait in line, be told that you'd be answered, your call was important, eventually you'd get through, you'd have no idea if there was anything left, if it was what you were wanted. And where we are now is something that looks a bit like this. Since Apple introduced the iPhone, it has totally changed the way that people interact and deal with concerts. I'm sure if any of you go to a concert or if you own a venue or put on an event, you see something like this when you're looking out at a packed house. So we also see that everything has changed. Mobile is by far and away our most effective method of sales. Online has got, outlets have decreased, phones have decreased, but mobile is moving and growing at an absolutely incredible rate. And we're the business, that's effectively what we're in now. So why don't people ticket online? It seems like the most obvious thing in the world, but people really don't do it. And some of the reasons that we hear include ticketing just isn't necessary, it's not part of my event. It's too much hassle, we don't need to do it, it sounds like something we wouldn't want to do. It's too techie, which, to be honest, standing in this place at this exhibition is probably not valid. Fees, always a bugbear. Don't want to charge my customer to put on an event. Why should they have to pay? We've heard that a lot of times. Or quite simply, I've never done something before. All of these are valid reasons, but I'd like you to give you some reasons why you should be online. We are uncategorically in the era of me. The mobile has ushered in a new way for us to behave and consume information. Everything we want has to be now, and it has to be personalised. It's about self-fulfilment. We are living in a me-first attitude environment. And you, as organisers, should be capitalising on selling tickets online because that is what customers want. They want convenience. They want it now. If someone goes out clubbing and they hear a song, they want to know who the artist is, they want to book tickets for their next show, they can go home and they can do that. It's the same. If I was to say, that gentleman there is wearing a very nice jumper, I'd like to say, where did you get it? He'd probably look at me very strangely, but if he told me, I could then go online and purchase that event. It should be exactly the same for ticketing. Your customers want everything to be available to them at their fingertips. So we are uncategorically living in an experience economy. People want products, but they want products to enhance their entertainment. People aren't spending money on material goods as much as they are as experiences. We as a business are seeing that firsthand every single day. People are also sharing their experiences. They've got the materials to do that, whether that be their phones, their iPads, and they are telling people what they are doing, and they want to involve and share other people in what they are doing. And the way that we share that is through social media and the likes. We are quite simply all millennials now. Every single person, no matter of their age, has an iPhone, an iPad, a computer, they're online, they are talking about events that they do. It's not just millennials who are using these devices. So your fans and your audiences are almost certainly doing exactly the same, and that is why it's so important to have that presence. Fan engagement is all important. So where have we been with fan engagement? Back in the 60s, Slick Mick, here he is, probably on chatting to those two girls about what songs we're listening to when he was waiting on the phone to book his tickets. Probably a little bit upset that it wasn't his latest tune. Nowadays though, and this was going to be a little video, fans are at events, whether they're at a 5,000 person event, a 10,000 person event, they're filming themselves enjoying, and they are sharing that with all of their different social media networks. Whether they've got 100 friends, whether they've got 1,000 friends online, if they are sharing the experiences, the things that they are doing, that could be at your event. And this is what we are seeing all day, every time. It is just a whole new way of marketing. It's free, essentially it's free viral marketing for any event. And video is obviously playing an absolutely massive part in that. 60% of global mobile traffic is video, apparently. That's what the stats say. And people are sharing 68% of what they do. And also, the most popular apps online are all chat apps. I mean, you know what all of those symbols are: WhatsApp, Snapchat, Facebook being the only one that isn't a Snapchat. You are simply missing out if you are not sharing these experiences. The youth of today, I read something in the newspaper today that said the average 11 to 18-year-old sends 26 messages a day on social media. That's 70,000 by the time they get to 18 years old. It's uncharted territory for everyone. You've got to be able to get a piece of that. And this is basically effectively free marketing for your events. But that brings competition. People only have a finite amount of money and they only have a finite amount of time. So how are you going to make sure that they attend your event? Ticketing websites such as ourselves and our competitors list events, which means that people are coming to browse to search for things to do. So whether they've seen it through something else or they think, oh, that looked amazing last year, I want to go this year, they want to be a part of that. We effectively are a shop window for all these things, something I'll touch upon later. So your event should be listed online alongside like-minded events. It's an absolute no-brainer. It's effectively, again, free marketing on your behalf. But also, one of the absolutely critical things about having ticketing online is cash flow. We're all event organisers. It is expensive to put on events in this day and age. You need that money up front and it runs out very quickly. And a lot of promoters rely on that cash flow from tickets to fund their event. This is a way to access that cash fund. If you're only taking sales on the door, you are not getting a penny until you get to the door. This way, all of that money is coming in and you can plan and market better. You can see the rate of sales. You can base your marketing on the events, on the statistics that you are learning from seeing these types of things. It's absolutely critical that you're doing it. The world has simply changed. We're in a society where we share more than ever before, we want more than ever before, and we want it quicker than ever before. And if you are putting on events, if you are not selling tickets online, you are missing out on a massive part of that. So a very little bit about Ticketmaster. I'm sure you've all heard of us. We're about 41 years old, 36 years old in the UK. We work on events of absolutely all ranges and sizes, so it's not just, for example, Spice Girls, which goes on sale on Saturday, or the NFL, or a big rugby match. We are literally working across the spectrum of events, and we have a number of different platforms that allow us to do that. So we have heard a lot of times today, my event's way too small for you, and it's just simply not the case. We at Ticketmaster own a number of platforms, which I'll talk you through now, and we are totally platform agnostic. We will ask the customer what they want, or the client in our words, and then we will give them what we believe is the best option for them. So just to give you a very quick overview of what our different platforms are. We obviously have Ticketmaster, the one that most people know and love. That is a full service agency. We do client account management, we do online sales, we do box offices on sites. It's where we go, it's where we direct people to. It's what we call our host server system. It can do everything from 1 million tickets in a day to Ed Sheeran to, a much smaller event, but it's 41 years old, right? If I walk around here and see some of the amazing technology that's around, the Ticketmaster host server system has been bolted on and added on in so many ways. It looks nothing how it looked when it first came onto the market. The reality is it is still incredibly good at dealing with high demand on sales. So when everyone hits the website at 9 o'clock in the morning on a Friday to buy for the latest big concert, it stands up to the test of time, and that is why promoters love it. But we are totally aware that that isn't right for every level of event. So with that in mind, we also have TicketWeb, which we in the business refer to as our much cooler younger sibling. It is a self-serve platform, although we do also provide account management and marketing, which we give to like pubs and clubs and smaller venues. A big customer of TicketWeb is the Music Venues Trust. Ed Sheeran might be playing Wembley last year and wherever he's playing in Ipswich this year, but he didn't start at those events. He started off in a small pub and then he moved up to the next ones, and we very much see those artists as part of that journey with us. So they are probably starting in TicketWeb venues, and we've sold tickets for them. We've got the data for them, so as they move on to a bigger venue, we are using that data to help promote and build them. And Ed Sheeran, James Bay are recent examples of guys that started in TicketWeb venues who are now selling hundreds of thousand tickets in a matter of minutes because they've just grown in a crazy way. We also have Frontgate, which is our festival-only platform. It was basically created for Coachella in the US. They sold the ownership. The people that bought them had their own ticketing platform. They spun it out. Ticketmaster were very aware of what a great platform that was, and they purchased it. This is a little bit different from Ticketmaster and TicketWeb. This is totally white labeled, so you don't press buttons, click buy tickets and go back to Ticketmaster. With Latitude, I've said that because it's there. With a festival, we build a website totally on brand, everything transacts on them. It also has RFID capabilities, which is pretty cool. And some cool stuff we've seen recently was at the Ryder Cup, for example. You could turn up and say, I'm supporting Europe, I press blue. I'm supporting the US, I support red, little touch. Just a good way to increase fan engagement. And then we also have our new little toy, which is kind of why we're here, which is Universe, which is a DIY self-serve platform to get us into that space where it's not the massive events. The big differential for this compared to other things in the market like this is that it still all feeds into the bigger Ticketmaster machine. If you want account management, you can have it if the event is big enough or we think there's enough long-term tail in it. We can provide marketing support. We can provide customer services. It's an unbelievably slick piece of tech. It also works differently from Ticketmaster and from Frontgate, which is white labeled, in that it now works on iframes. So everything is embedded on your website. The customer never ever leaves your website. You get all the benefits of increased SEO. That same embeddable widget will go into your Facebook page, so your customers can buy tickets direct on Facebook. So when we see so many promoters spending money through Facebook in terms of advertising, it's a really great way for customers to engage with your own website. So if we've shown you all the reasons why we've got this, I guess it's kind of another reason to say why Ticketmaster. We are very aware that there are a lot of other ticketing companies out there who offer very similar services. We understand that. It's quite simple really in our eyes. We're an e-commerce business, one of the biggest in the UK. We compete with Amazon and eBay in terms of the amount of money that transacts through the site. We're a top 20 performing e-commerce platform. We effectively have the biggest shop window in the UK for fans that are looking to buy events. It's pretty much simple, really. In terms of our website, we had 485 million unique visits last year. So why wouldn't you want your event listed on that place? We know that the vast majority of customers are coming to Ticketmaster to purchase the ticket for the event that they want. But we see a hell of a lot of traffic that is literally browsing. So if your event is listed alongside similar events, what's not to say that the customer wouldn't buy your event over another event? That's really, really important. But also we're changing the way we interact with our customers. I don't know if any of you use Ticketmaster, but the website, the way it looks, the way you interact with it has totally changed. It's become much more content driven. We have an absolutely huge marketing team, totally genre specific, that is working with promoters all day, every day on selling their events. We understand that not everyone can have a listing at all times, but we have so many different ways that we work around our website to ensure that we give you full prominence at all times. And if we haven't got you on our front page, you might be on a genre page. It's all split up into regions, so if you're living in Scotland, we're only going to serve you with events in Scotland. There's no point offering them to come to the Wembley gig if there's going to be an event up at Hampden Park, for example. One of our key tools as well is email marketing. I know a lot of people think that is kind of not the future, but for us, we've got, in a post-GDPR world, 11 million signed up customers who we are talking to every single week. 1 in 7 people in the UK receives an email from Ticketmaster at one point during the week, normally on a Thursday when we do our ticket alert, which is basically lists out all events that we believe you will be interested in. We also have our Infinity tool, which you can see is this, looks like the Death Star. And effectively, that is through our own insight system that we started building 10 years ago when we realized how important data was. When we plug in an event, we build a lookalike personality of a customer so that we can also target people that we think will also look after your event. But we also go a step further. We know that big companies like Netflix and Spotify, it's all about personalization. When you click onto Netflix, it's telling you what it thinks you want to see. When you go to Spotify, it's telling you what it thinks you want to listen to. And Ticketmaster works in exactly the same way with the way that we emails you. Based on your history with us, whether that be what you browse for, what you buy, we will only try to serve you with events that we think are relevant. So if you've only ever bought a ticket for a theatre show, we're not going to serve you with the latest England rugby game because we just know you're not going to buy. We are all about the highest propensity to purchase for an event, and what we call predictive intelligence is very much in play now in everything that we do in terms of marketing. We also know that marketing gets a bit boring, especially from our side. If we're only saying buy a ticket, that message runs out very quickly. So we're really, really hot. We've got a big content team. We've got a blog that gets 100,000 people listening, coming to check it every month. We are working with not only event organisers, we're working with talent so that we can use other ways around our site to promote events, because just having the poster of the event, it doesn't work enough. We're really smart with the way that we do these things. We interview people, we go backstage for events, whatever it is that the organiser wants to do, we make that available to them. We also offer campaigns throughout the year, whether it be Black Friday, Mother's Day, Father's Day, all these type of things, just other ways that we can always make sure that our clients' events are front of customers' eyes. That's what it's all about ultimately. How do we make them buy the ticket that they want to see? And one of our coolest ones is mini masters, which we are the only kinds of people in the market that are really doing this, which is effectively we take and send young children to events to review them for the parents to think that their other children will like that. And we get unbelievable access to stuff doing this. We've had kids go on the ice at Disney on Ice. We've had kids training with the England ladies football team. We've had kids training with the NFL teams when they're here. They come, we give them a microphone, we let them interview them. We take that content back. We use it for ourselves. We also find that our promotional partners are using it in other ways as well. And it works on the basis as if that 8-year-old kid likes that event, I imagine that my 8-year-old kid will as well. So for family events, this is absolutely critical and it's a massive part of what we do. I was going to show a video there, but it didn't work, so sorry about that. All of this comes down to one thing, really, and another, really the core reason why you need to be online. It's all about data capture. Why is collecting data so important for you as event organisers? There's a number of reasons. One, it allows you to talk to your customers directly, whether that be emailing them, whatever it is, you can't turn that opportunity down. It also allows you cross-marketing opportunities. If you're selling for multiple events, you can talk to them about other events. It also allows you as event organisers to make informed decisions which impact your budgets and your marketing plans. And finally, and most importantly, it helps you to understand your customers far better, who they are, where they're coming from, when are they purchasing, how much are they spending. All of this is absolutely critical for event organisers in this day and age. So why do people like working with us? Big data. We have, I said before, gave you some of those numbers in terms of the numbers of people that engage with us, but 28 single million customer views last year. We sent 858 million emails, 20 million orders of tickets. Why would you not want to be part of that? Why would you not want your event in that big shop window? We track every single click on our website, and our web analytics looking at how fans engage with us across all different forms of marketing that we do. And we have so many other channels we haven't even talked about, all of our social channels, our Facebook, all of this stuff. Effectively, we are working with clients' data all the time because our main goal is to put tickets in the hands of fans for our clients effectively. So I just talked about this a little bit, but it's all about understanding your data, adapting to what the data is telling you. You can offer incentives and develop loyalty. A lot of festivals, a lot of events will do early birds to absolutely reward previous bookers, which is a really important thing to do. This is absolutely massive with our sports clients. We provide post-event wrap-up reports which break down customers. It's all overlain by Personics, and it really breaks down where they live, how much is their annual household income, what newspapers are they reading. So for sports clients who are doing sponsorship deals, or anyone who's doing a sponsorship deal, when the beer brand, the wine brand says, what does your customer actually look like? We are giving that information right back to our clients, and we know they are using that to get their sponsorship deals. And finally, you can it's a little bit skewed, sorry. You can personalise the customer's experience. We've talked before about it all being the era of me. Everything has to be relevant to the person that you are selling to, and all of these tools allow you to do that. So a very quick wrap up. What's the future look like? We know that ticketing has become unnecessarily complicated. It really has. And as the key player in the industry, we're fixing that. We've got a brand new mobile first fan experience, which we know is seeing massively increased purchases. We're increasing fan choice with resale. We shut down our 2 resale sites. We will now have, when you come to Ticketmaster, there will be a blue dot and there will be a pink dot. If it's a blue dot, it's an original ticket. If it's a pink dot, it is a resale ticket, and you can only sell your ticket back at the money you paid for it. So we are out the game of people taking tickets, putting them on other sites and charging effectively what they like, which is a great step for us because effectively that's what our customers wanted it. And then there's the next generation of smart ticketing, which is going to see all across next year, which is effectively getting rid of paper tickets. From very soon, you will have tickets that are in your Apple wallet, in your Android wallet as soon as you purchase them. No more paper. You can turn up to the gig with your smartphone, click, you're in. And on top of that, there's a whole other layer of event-specific, venue-specific tools. Who's in the venue? You can transfer your ticket to your friends. You don't have to have, I've got in, you all have to be together. So it's really, really cool. Exciting future. We're just basically developing the tools that are going to effectively make sure it does what it says there. I mean, effectively, I know that was really, really quick. To wrap up, I kind of think the reasons you need to be online is the reasons we talked about. Customers want it. You need to have that data. You need to know how to work with that data. And we believe that we've got the marketing tools which allow you to do that. And we think we're the right ticketing agent, with all the tools that you will need. And we have the different platforms that allow us to do that. And once you've got that data, it's up to you how you use it. But without that data, you really are kind of swimming against the tide. I think that's it. Thank you very much.
Any quick questions for Rob on Slido? Do fire it in. But there's only 7% that you're missing effectively, and I guess they'll be bullied out of the equation by the fact that their other options will disappear. So you've kind of got them ultimately anyway.
Yes. Some people will always love that personal experience. I mean, sports fans being one where, if they're booking to go and see a cricket match and they want to sit in a specific part of the stadium, I don't think there's that trust yet that they can go online and choose that, even though there's a seat map, even though you can drill down. They're old school. So I guess whilst they're still involved, there is an element of that. But I guess for us, where we say it's 93%, that's only 93% of customers that we've got. It's all those other events that we're not selling for. That is obviously where we see our growth.
There's been a bunch of other ticketing companies coming up because of the secondary ticketing thing, with solutions saying, look, we're sort of whiter than white and it's not going to happen on our watch. And you're kind of into the old school of where that was a part of the problem, but you're now making that a part, you're really dealing with that.
Effectively, that's correct. I mean, in the areas that I work, secondary is not such a big deal. It's much more on the music side of events, but effectively that is correct. We were operating in that space because our view on it was that if you're going to be doing it, there was no verification of that ticket. You see every day in the newspaper, whether it's another company where they never even had that ticket in the first place. One of the benefits we had is we always verified the ticket when it was there. But now we're just effectively saying we're not going to do that anymore, sell at any price. We're just going to sell it at the price you sold it for, but it's all still totally verified by us because the reality is we probably sold it in the first place, so it's all in the system.
Because there's the dark art of promoters using secondary ticketing as well, which there must be whispers in ears about, but that's hopefully going to be a thing of the past.
Yeah, I mean, that's, again, not my area of the business. I appreciate that we're always going to be asked about those things, but we've taken our stand. We've drawn our line in the sand.
Great stuff, Rob. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.